This is lesson 1-6, comparing and ordering decimals. Our essential question, how can you compare decimals? And this picture is showing the steps that we're going to take. So we're going to line up the decimal points. If there's any missing values, we're going to put in zeros, and then we're going to compare left to right. There's no vocab for this lesson. Example 1, compare 1 and 9/100 and 1 and 9/10. So again, like we did before with regular place value, I want to line them up. Now the important thing about decimals is to line the decimals up. So like 1 and 9/10 doesn't have anything in the hundredths place. But that doesn't mean you put the 9 all the way on the right. You have to make sure that your decimals are in the same line. So we put a 0 in that missing place to line them up. So now we just look at our numbers from left to right. So we look first here, we have a 1 in the ones place. So nothing we can do about that. Now we look at the next value. We have a 0 and a 9 in the tenths place. A 9 is greater than a 0. So this number with the 9 in the tenths place is going to be greater. So remember when you do your greater than, less than symbols, the bigger N points toward the bigger number. Now some of you might have looked at this and automatically thought that this number was greater because it has 3 digits. It has a 1, then a 0, then a 9. And this one only has 2, a 1 and a 9. But that does not matter. You have to look at your place values starting from the left. Line them up and see which one is greater from left to right. Example 2, we're putting them in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to line up all the numbers again, like I did in example 1. Now remember, if you need to fill in any values, you put in zeros. And now let's compare. So we look starting left to right, we start in the ones place. We're going least to greatest. So I see I have 2 7s and 2 6s. So obviously the 2 6s are going to be smaller. So I'm just going to focus on those 2 numbers right now. So now I'm going to look at the next place, which is the tenths place. In this number I have a 2, and in the one down here I have a 1. Now since we're trying to go from least to greatest, I want the smallest number first. So the 1 is smaller than the 2. So this is my smallest number, 6 and 1/10. Now, obviously we've already narrowed it down to those 2 being the smallest. So the next one is going to be 6 and 257 thousandths. Now I'm down to my other 2 numbers. So I already know they both have 7s in the ones place. So then I look at the tenths place. This one has a 0 and this one has a 6. 0 is going to be smaller. So this is my next number, 7 and 8/100. Then my last one is 7 and 6/10, my greatest number. Example 3, we're comparing again. So we line them up, 18 and 1,000th and 18 and 100th. And so I put my 0 on the end to make them line up. Now we start looking at our digits left to right. They both have a 1 in the tens place, so that tells me nothing. They both have an 8 in the ones place, so that doesn't tell me anything. In the tenths place, they both have a 0. But then in the hundredths place, this one has a 1 and this one has a 0. 1 is greater than 0. So this number is my greater number. So I put in it actually reads 18 and 1,000th is less than 18 and 100th. And our last one we're comparing again, so we line them up, 7 and 25/100. And 7 3/10. We add on a 0 at the end to compare them. And then we start looking at our places. So our ones place, we have 2 7s. So we have to look at the next place, which is the tenths. We have a 2 and a 3. 3 is going to be greater than 2. So that is my larger number. So I put in my correct symbol. So 7 and 25 hundredths is less than 7 and 3 tenths. What I really want you to remember here is that it does not matter how many digits are in the number. It only matters when you line up the decimals and go by the place values to see which one has a greater number in that correct place value. Here are 3 practice problems. Don't forget a word problem or a question, and rate your understanding.